What's up, my Moon Tribe? I'm Haley. Welcome back to Moon Tribe Tarot. I have already done the March 21st to 26th videos for all the star signs, so that's up now. You can all take a look at that. I have pretty much mentioned it. I might have forgotten some of the videos, but I've mentioned this in almost all the videos because I was seeing the same thing, that I was going to be making a video about the coronavirus pandemic that is going around, because most of the readings that I got were straight fear. They were almost all the same message. There was like one or two star signs that got some really good shit that didn't relate to the virus. But most of it did. Most of it was a fear of financial poverty, a fear of being distanced from people that you love, a fear of the unknown. So I am going to sit here with you. I haven't pulled anything yet. This is going to be kind of like a walking, talking, we will see where this goes when I pull it kind of thing. It's going to be a kind of a working in. I have not pulled anything. I usually pull beforehand, but this is going to be a conversation that develops with what I feel is appropriate, what I feel the cards need to tell me at the time. But first of all, before I get into anything, I would like to address the public at this time. There are things that we can be doing during this time, and there are things that we shouldn't be doing during this time, which if you are on Facebook at all, I know I've been a culprit of this and I need to stop doing this, but I have been, overusing Facebook. I've been looking at all of the false information, all these bogus claims. I'm sure we can all relate. There's somebody out there that's pissing everybody off by saying, oh my god, all the fears, all this, like, oh my god, China's doing that, blah, 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 blah. We can all relate right now. If you have Facebook, the troubles that we have gone through on Facebook, seeing straight bullshit fears, just people pushing these ridiculous numbers, and then we have people not giving a shit about it and saying, I don't care because it doesn't matter because it's all a lie. Both of those are incredibly fucking wrong. Both of those are not the correct way to be handling this issue during this time. Neither is it one where you should be forcing false information of sources that you haven't fully researched. I understand the fear in need to push these resources, and that there are definitely resources in which I'll be giving the information for on what you can use, which is a actual guideline and something that it's not the Daily Mail and it's not some bogus Fox News claim. Not that Fox News is bogus claims, but it not these bogus fucking for-profit fucking companies and these online web fucking mail things that are not true sources of valuable information. Because the most that I have been noticing is that the numbers from case to case and to people have been vastly different from what is actually being shown online. Like, all of these numbers of misinformation stemming from the very beginning of it in China to now is not everything that we have been told. Here's the thing about this. Here's the thing about this virus. It's scary. It is a very scary time because even if we don't believe that it has an impact on us, a lot of us are saying, no, it's just like the flu, like you'll get the flu and then you'll get over it, it's really no big deal, because there's a lot of us that have gotten it, and it really is just like a nasty cold, and a lot of us have gone through. There are obviously more cases of people recovering from it than there are people that are getting sick with it. And the recovery rate is, you're almost guaranteed to pull out of it if you're not a certain group of people. If you're not elderly and if you don't have existing pre-existing conditions and you don't have an autoimmune disease, you're not really at risk. But we are at risk for contaminating others that can get affected by this. And that is the thing. That is the fear that is going on right now, is that there are people out there where it's kind of ableist to say, we have, you don't have to worry unless you're elderly or unless you're disabled or have these pre-existing. What if you are fucking elderly? What if you have these pre-existing conditions? Because then you have to be worried. Like, that's ableist to think, well, I'm not old. Fuck it. Fuck all of you. It's fine. You're not old. What about the old people? What about the people that I have lots of friends online that have pre-existing conditions that will be threatened by this? It's not just something where, here's another thing that's upsetting. When you see things online and it's kind of like people trying to calm people down by saying things like, it's not as bad as the gun control, the gun gun statistics and gun deaths in this country kills 30,000 people a month. This is not the same thing as gun violence. It is not the same thing as an already established outbreak. It might not be a new virus, but it is a new outbreak. This is the first time that we're fucking hearing about a coronavirus update or breakout. It's something that is new. And for all of us that are seeing it explode, we're afraid. And for a lot of the cases, a lot of us didn't even know that we fucking had it. And how many of us didn't know that we had it? And a lot of us now that are like, it's kind of like this, what's that fucking thing that the Crucible? No, it's not the Crucible. Is it, what's the fucking, English fucking thing, that really long fucking book they make us read in high school and also in college? It's not, Easy A was kind of based off of it, the fucking movie with Emma Stone, and it's also, not just Easy A, I think it's the Crucible, the one where, is it the Crucible? I'm thinking of two different stories. It's the one in which there's kind of like a witch hunt of things like, oh, this person has it, like, all eyes on them, this person has it. This is going to be a trying time. My main point in this is that there are ways that we can handle the fear and anxiety that we aren't doing right now. For I don't want to say rightful reasons, but we're afraid. The nation is afraid. Whether it's real or not, the social and economic repercussions this is going to have on society is going to be very real. We can see this by going to your local fucking grocery store and not finding any goddamn fucking toilet paper for our assholes. Because that's a very real fear that is made. It's not, whether or not this is a real thing, if we're being distracted by the government, who actually fucking knows? Oops. Who actually fucking knows? But the social implications that this is having, the economic fears and the economic, the political stance that this is having on our society is very real. The fear is, even if the virus doesn't turn out to be this widespread thing that we think it's going to turn into, the fear has already taken a place, and it's scaring everyone. It's scaring me. I'm afraid. I'd be lying to you if I'm saying that I don't call my boyfriend every night and almost like freak the fuck out about it every night, because yeah, I'm afraid too. But I understand that as a tarot reader, it's hard because I'm kind of like a fledgling at this. I've been doing tarot for 6 years. No, I'm going on 7 years. Holy shit, I'm actually at 7 years. So I've been doing this for a while, but it's still something in me where, I still have to learn all of these lessons where I am something that is very, very anxious. I'm very anxious all the time of all these anxieties, of all these fears. And it's something where, I have to learn myself how to mitigate these fears, and I can understand that what I'm seeing online isn't the actuality of what's going on, that for better or for worse, as much as I would, as much as this is a scary thought, the lightworker world is all pretty buzzing right now with the same thing, that whether we like it or not, this is all going to aid us in a way that it is going to show us things that we don't need. It is going to show us, it's going to open up a lot of worms in a lot of cases with, politics and the way that our government is run, the way that things are taken care of, because I'm seeing a lot of frustrations that, we're losing our jobs and we aren't being taken care of. There's a lot of real concerns here, especially in a political climate where I'm living in America. I live in one of the hot spots. So it's scary. It's one of the first few states that really started getting fucked really fast. And I'm there, and it's scary because, what if the shutdown happens? But I am here to tell you that regardless of what actually, what the damage is done, that this event, the event is happening for a reason. So I'm here as a tarot reader to help mitigate these fears, and I'm here to express them and to tell you that I also have these fears, that your fears are valid, that, for a lot of you that don't think that anything of that's fine too. You're welcome to your opinion, but I am here specifically to preach to the people and to reach out to the people that are affected by this, because whether you like it or not, we are all going to be affected by this in some sort of repercussion. But I'm here to be there for the people that need this the most, what you need to hear the most at this time. So let's do that as the first thing that we get during this reading. I would first and foremost just have I said all of that to get all of the shit out of the way, to address the fears, to address what's going on, to say, okay, that's what we're working with. We have a lot of different things from a lot of different perspectives. People are taking it two completely different ways. What's actually the truth, what's not the truth. Let's find out. Let's find out what it is that we need to know the most. And I'm not going to be using the Lenormand right now, but I will in a minute. 2 cards. God, I'm hearing 3. What do we need to know? Fuck. Okay. No, I don't say fuck in a bad thing. It's just something that was just instantly reaffirmed in me, and that was weird because it's kind of what I've been saying. We are going through hardship right now. A lot of us are going through financial loss. There's a lot of hardship to be had. It is a financially impoverished time, one in which we are going to feel left out in the cold. Our society is probably going to make us feel left out in the cold. Our lack of jobs is going to make us feel left out in the cold. There's a lot that is going to leave us feeling of a lack of emotional stability and financial stability. There is a lot going on right now where we as a whole, I'm reading this for everybody, it's not just America, this is for everyone that reads this, there is a overall feeling of lack of financial stability, of emotional stability, of support. It is saying also in the advice for this is that we have our friends there for us, that, there's help there for us. We just have to find it. The 7 of Pentacles representing a situation in which you need to foster patience. Kind of let this blow over, and I'm getting this as a main theme, that we need to have patience, and I do feel like in time, things are going to resolve itself. This is a situation, the 7 of Pentacles represents something like watering a garden, growing fruit or growing a flower, and having that flower almost blossom. Like it's going to be like a day or two before the flower actually blossoms into whatever flower it was supposed to be, and to whatever fruit it was supposed to be from this tree, whatever tree it is, whatever fruit or flower this is that you are going to harvest too quickly. You are going to harvest it too quickly, and if you pick it before it's ripe, pick it before it is ready to be eaten, and then nobody gets to have it, because you pick it before it's too ripe, and you kind of spoil that for yourself. It is saying not to be too hasty with your decision making during this time, to kind of, honestly, this is going to be the scariest thing, to have the faith and trust of your own intuition. What do you think is going to happen during this situation? Do you think that this is a situation in which is going to blow over? Or do you think this is a situation in which is going to become eventually worse? And my direct source of insight is telling me, oh God, now the Lenormand Tarot wants me to pull. But I'm going to tell you before I pull the Lenormand Tarot that I am directly looking at this saying that our fears, this is our fears. This is the reality of the situation, and this is our intuition. All working together, the situation is, I feel like, a lot more simpler than we're making it out to be. I feel like for the most part, this is going to be in large part a waiting game. It is going to I feel for the majority of us, it is going to feel like we are... I think that this could take a little bit of time to actually get under control. As a society, as a country, in general, globally, I feel like this is something that will eventually blow over. I don't think it is going to happen anytime very, very soon. I do think that this is something that is going to take some time to completely mitigate the fears of the majority of people worldwide. I think that this is going to be something that isn't, it's not going to be resolved in a day. And we already know this. This isn't going to just become complete overnight. We know that China is having less cases every day. I'm pretty sure I haven't fact-checked that, but from the last time I heard from China was that they are having, reporting fewer and fewer cases of the virus. I think it started in either November or December, so almost 4 months of having this go on, and our first case was January 21st, 2020, so it's still starting up. I still think that these things and these fears are still starting up, but I also think it is something that within ourselves we know the actual destination of where this goes, and I kind of see this card as her. I see this as the high priestess of somebody that is wondering, looking into the distant horizon of the unknown, of not really knowing where this goes, and saying that that's okay right now to trust yourself and your intuition. I think that this turns out in the route where it's definitely going to be something that takes its time getting off the ground. In time, it definitely will be something that we can advance on, but right now things are at a halt, as we know. But it is saying, to me, I get this as a spread of needing patience more than anything, needing patience. And above all else, trust your instincts. If you don't feel like you are safe to go out in public, fucking don't. If you think you might have been exposed to the virus, don't go out. We are still at risk of spreading this to people, the elderly and the people that have immune disorders that can get very, very sick during this time. So if you are being told, if you aren't going to work and you are not at risk of if you can mitigate this, if you can take this into your own hands, listen to the guidelines, listen to the instructions that we are being given by the CDC to mitigate the damage, because I feel like in time it is going to blow over, but it is going to leave us feeling pretty drained. We're already pretty fucking exhausted from this. Everything we hear in the news is corona this, blah, 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 blah. I'm here to kind of put an end to this kind of fear. It's obviously not going to be an end, but I'm telling you, I don't see doomsday prophecies. I see this energy repeated twice of somebody with divine intuition. And I think that this does, in time, blow over. I don't see a lot of cards. I'd be getting tower cards. I'd be getting fucking cards for destruction if this was going in a route. And I'm telling you, because I know my cards, this would be going in a completely different direction if I were to get the fucking death card with a tower card with a 10 of swords. I see this as needing to be patient. Follow your source of intuition. Follow the guidelines. Follow the source of the guide. Follow the intuition during this time. And one more card for outcome of where this goes for all of us. Page of Cups, an open invitation for emotion. You are going to be receiving good news. We're all going to be receiving good news from this. It is, however, going to take time. And honestly, I feel like that pretty much covered most of the brunt of the fear. I'm going to need a slight break because I've been talking for like hours on end doing my tarot, so I need a little water break. Give me a sec. Okay. So I see this as mitigating your fears. And I do see that at the end of the day, there is going to be good news had. The Page of Cups represents an open invitation of emotion and messages. So good news incoming, especially in the motion with water and emotions. This is good news incoming to you. I don't see the reason to have mass hysteria over this. I do see the need to take caution during this time and to be prepared financially and also to be patient. Above all else, we are going to need to have patience. Above all else, literally, this stood out the most to me. And this also did too, because it came up twice. But trust your intuition at this time. I feel like a lot of you know that this is something that in time will blow over. Don't freak out. The freaking out is not going to help anything. I'm going to ask now for the people that are afraid of this, that are really, really, really afraid of this, what you need to directly know in one card of advice, what you directly need to know in order to help mitigate your fears. The Nine of Wands. Same shit, different day, but also a very, very, very resilient fighter card of somebody that if she gets knocked down and she gets up again, nothing's gonna bring her down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. I'm getting that song very strongly from my head. That's only happened twice here on Haley's Tarot channel, and it's been right so far, so let's continue that streak. I feel like you've been knocked down a lot, and you are going to continue to get up again. It is a situation which has deep roots. It's not something that is, I see the fear battle. I see that you are going to need to prepare yourself for some sort of fight. in this case is going to be your anxiety, because I get this as an anxiety card. But to be prepared to deal with your fight and trust that you are going to rise above it at the end of the day. Because out of all of the cards that I have seen that take on the interpretation of the Nine of Wands, this is one of my favorites, because she is not only fucking rising above, but she's got fucking flames shooting out of her wands. Like, what? She's got fucking flames shooting out of her wands. She's got flames. She has a lot of passion, a lot of fire, and she isn't somebody that is just so simply pushed over. She's not somebody that is going to go down without a fight. So trust that if you are afraid, you are all fighters. The ones that I'm directly speaking to right now, you are fighters. This is, I feel like it might be the same day, different day, same type of shit, where you have these fears and they're proven to you that you are very resilient. You have the ability to overcome these fears, and I don't see any direct danger. I do see the need to prepare to do battle with probably yourself, but I don't see any actual need for fears, other than yourself making them there for you. One more card for the people that need to hear this. You have stability here. There is a lot of stability in this situation. Trust that if you don't see this right now, for fuck's sake, trust that if you don't see this right now, you are going to. You have a stable situation. This is one of stability. This isn't something that is if you think this is a doom and gloom, doomsday prophecy, where you think that this is going to be the end of everything and you're really scared that this has long-reaching, continuous roots. Very, very long, continuous, long-reaching roots. One of my favorite fucking tarot readers on this YouTube platform is called Tarot Just Because. Her name is Kara, and I was going through an incredibly fucked up time this fall. It was the summer and fall were literally one of the worst things I've ever experienced in my life, and I got a hold of her. And I messaged her and I said, yo, I really need a reading. I've never done this before. I've never done a reading on YouTube. Can I please have a reading? And she gave me the same exact advice and the outcome. So I feel very strongly that I'm kind of I'm kind of channeling that kind of energy with you here, to be very, very stable, in my assurance to tell you that this is going to blow over, to not be afraid of this, because there are long, deep-reaching roots. And at the end of the day, you have a family situation, you have people that are going to be there for you to help you mitigate your fears, and you have long-reaching, dependable financial roots, and emotional prosperity. If you are afraid of the impact that this is going to have on you financially, I feel like a lot of you that are scared are going to be shown that there are going to be resources that, I don't want to say come out of the blue, but I feel like you are going to be taken care of. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking too much. That might be a sign for me to stop for the night. But I definitely feel like that is the majority of what I needed to say. I've kind of already, in these cards, kind of addressed the issues. But let me pull one more card for the people that are sick and are affected with this, what they need to hear during this time. Let's pull two, a duo. You are going to make it through. You are going to make it through. But I'm not going to make it through this video without punching a hole in my fucking wall. So, the Nine of Wands represents a situation. Again, I literally just told you what this is. It is a fighting. It's that fight. It is being very resilient, overcoming this, and healing from it. So for the people that are sick and affected with it, the majority of you that are reading this and watching this are going to fight this, and you are going to recover from it. So trust that it's... I really kind of get the sense from what my tarot is saying and from all the cards that I've pulled, especially for the people that are afraid, and especially now for the people that are actually sick, that the majority of you reading this that do get sick with this are going to recover from this. And to not be scared, trust that there is a period of well-being that is coming to you after this fight, because it is something that you are going to be fighting. And for those of you that have it, the majority of you are going to overcome it. It is, I definitely think that, especially now, consulting the tarot, this is definitely something that's being blown way out of proportion. I'm not saying that it is unjustly being blown out of the water, that fears are real, but I also, as a tarot reader, am pretty fucking sure that everything is going to be okay. There's always room for error. No, I don't. What a terrible thing to say. No, oops. My wall is not having a good day. What I mean, I can't really, that's a really bad Haley humor, I'm sorry. There, if you don't know me, now you know my humor is really fucking bad sometimes. But I really do mean that. I don't see this going in a direction that is... We're going to definitely be scared. It is, for those of you that get sick, I definitely see you overcoming this. And for those of you that are sick now, trust that I see you overcoming this specifically. If you're here and you're sick and you're like, I definitely see you recovering from this. It is not something that I don't feel you won't be able to defeat. And I feel like we, as a whole, as a population on this earth, aren't going to be able to overcome. They kind of say it online, every 2 years there's a fucking new pandemic every election year, right? This is an election year. Give and take whatever the fuck that means. But I definitely do feel like it will be shown that over time, it will resolve. I definitely do feel that over time it is going to resolve. For the majority of us, there are going to be those that are affected. The majority of you, we're all going to be affected from this financially or some sort of way, but prosperity-wise, reaching into the future, I don't see it taking us out. I see us recovering from this. So one more card. What do I need to say to every single person that reads this message, that reads this 25 fucking minute long video? What do I need to tell every single person that watches this now or eventually watches this as timeless piece of advice? Okay, the Hermit. Let me read to you what the Hermit means in this deck. I'm kind of being told to read from the deck. I can tell you what it means, but I'd rather read from the book. Society, friends, family, and anyone trying to sell you anything can claim to know just what is needed in this situation. Unfortunately, none of them have the right answer. It's hard to step out of the realm of the normal or acceptable behavior, but nothing less than authentic action will do, and no one can tell anyone else what that is. Withdraw from all kinds of offers of advice and guidance. It is best for you to eliminate all further input. You have all that you need. Question everything with only your own heart, mind, and soul as the measure. Keep what rings true and disregard all that doesn't. So, even as I kind of feel that's ironic because I am telling you, what you... I'm not trying to sit here and tell you what to believe, what not to believe. I'm trying to mitigate the fear and the damage. So I do agree with my Hermit, with the tarot here. Definitely I'm going to repeat this again because I think that this is the most important thing. Withdraw from all kind of advice and guidance. It is best for you to eliminate all further input, and you have all that you need. Question everything with only your own heart and mind and soul at measure. And we kept getting this with the intuition, with the High Priestess kept coming in, and this is also a time of isolation. So there is going to be a time of isolation. I feel like you are going to need to look inside of yourself for the own answers because it's kind of not going to make sense. Everybody's going to be ringing down to you what their idea of the truth is. Even, I don't want to say that even me, because that would mean that even I am subjugated to this, but in the most pure form of this, to trust that at the end of the day, to make your own conclusions. Don't freak out from everybody else's advice. Make sure that, every situation is going to be different. Some of you are going to be affected by this, some of you aren't. Take the advice directly that you see is necessary. Don't listen to your own form of wisdom. Make your own conclusions by yourself, but do so in a rational way. Make sure that you have all of the guidance. Make sure you have all of the answers. Make sure that you have a safe, established way of making sure that your situation is safe and sound. To withdraw from outside advice, and when I say that, I mean like Facebook. If you have anxieties, definitely don't be putting yourself out there on Facebook right now because it's fucking really bad, and I'm probably going to be not using mine for a good amount of time because it's, you look on there and it's just devastating, the amount of panic that people are putting on there. It's getting really bad. So that is the overall advice. Take care during this time. I'm going to be giving, in the description box down below, I'm going to be giving the advice from the CDC. I'm going to be giving all of the ways to keep yourself healthy. Everything from the CDC, because the CDC isn't actually... The CDC is who you want to be listening to right now, the Center of Disease Control. Those are the people that are at hand experiencing this and would understand more than anybody else at this time how to go through this. They have a fucking plan for everything, so trust that they have a plan for this. Even though it might not feel like one right now, trust that I don't see this going in a way of doom and gloom. I see that this is going to be something that we are going to be able to overcome. So trust and have faith right now. I'm sure they'll be doing updates when if things get worse, which I'm sure things usually get better before they get worse. I'm not saying that to scare people. I'm just saying to be prepared for a long haul right now, especially with the way that our society is and how we are reacting to this as a whole. Even if we don't have anything to worry about health-wise, we are creating the fear ourselves and making things worse for ourselves along the way. So take with this what you need and take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. But honestly, if you're here for a specific reason, I'm pretty sure that I have said something that you need to hear during this time. So other than that, stay safe, wash your hands. I'm going to give right now the basics of what I know. If you feel sick, don't go out traveling. Don't make this worse than it is. If you feel like you are sick, go obviously get seen by a doctor. I know that a lot of people are having trouble with doctors not actually giving correct testing, so isolating yourself during that time to make sure that other people don't get it, even if you don't know if you have it or not, is great during this time to prevent the spread of it. Do all the normal things you would during a flu or cold season. This is, obviously not like the flu or the cold. It is different, but to treat it like a sickness, make sure that you are washing your hands thoroughly for 30 seconds. Do all the things that the CDC would recommend in distancing yourself from situations of gatherings of more than 10 plus people at this time. Follow the guidelines, follow the rules, and we will get through this as a whole, as a population. All right, I will see you around. I'm going to continue fighting here for you, and I hope that you continue sticking around and fighting for me. Don't lose faith. All right, I love you all. Take care. Peace out, my Moon Tribe.